Yeah, yeah, I probably passed out by like at least 3.
Oop, I just got a notification on the phone that Loads of Bacon is live.
Oh,
Are we? Are we live?
Well, I got the pop-up on my phone. Yep, there it goes. It's coming up. Ooh, Kenny got the first billing.
Yeah, let me see. Yep, I see you.
All right. I've got comments up. It looks like we're chatting. Hey,
good.
Live it says.
Yep.
Woohoo. OP says woohoo. Outstanding. That's a direct quote, by the way.
Top 25 TTFD said that, yeah.
Outstanding. So far, obviously I'm here, Bacon. We've got Curtis online. Actually, introduce yourselves here. We'll start with you, Curtis.
Okay, I'm Curtis Chapin. You guys see me on my YouTube channel. It's William C. Chapin. Yes, that is my real name. I'm kind of new to the YouTube game. I've been around the shooting and reloading for much longer than I've been around YouTube. So that's pretty much the brief introduction.
Kyle, you're up, man.
Hi, guys. It's Kyle here. I've been reloading for a couple of years. Met a lot of great friends on YouTube, and now we get to actually chat with each other. It's awesome.
It is, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, Kenny.
What's up, guys? Kenny. Go by the handle Eagle Eye Shooting. Pretty new here. I mean, I've only been reloading for the last 5 years, and probably one of the youngest people that I've seen on one of the members. But it's been a great experience. I learned a lot through a lot of people here on YouTube, and I do a lot of casting, reloading. Specifically, I like long-range shooting, but I hope to one day kind of merge cast-lead bullets and long-range shooting together. So we'll see how that goes.
How much of that you think is going to require paper patching? You've done some stuff on paper patching recently, right?
Yeah. Paper patching, like I said, it's kind of not really talked about as far as I've seen on YouTube. My uncle is he used to be a competition shooter for paper patching, and he shot a 7mm08 and also a 303 British paper patch. There's a lot of key factors involved in paper patching that can really throw out a bullet. So I'm still kind of like developing that and seeing what works, what's not. And it seems to be, I'm kind of on the verge of a breakthrough, getting something that kind of works for long range.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've wondered about paper patching a time or two, but I have never started down that road yet. So I'm looking forward to you figuring it all out so then I can just pick it up with all your lessons learned.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying those videos, Kenny. That's some really interesting stuff, and I shoot 30-06 as well, and you've really got me looking at a couple of different things, and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, guys. Like a lot of people are trying to push these cast-lead bullets pretty fast, and I think this is a viable way of doing it. And it's just kind of tedious when people kind of weed away from doing it because you got to roll paper, but you got to think about all your load development efforts and time you spend just to get something that works on a cast-lead bullet. I think this is the way to go, personally.
Is Your Six Covered just popped into the room and is saying hello to everyone. So hello back to you.
Hey,
Rick, welcome aboard. Let's see. I'm 243 Outdoors is trying to get on. I'm trying to send him the link here. So, hey, Curtis, pick up the conversation for a second while I try to get the link to 243 Outdoors.
Okay. Well, Kenny, I haven't gotten a chance to look at your paper patching project yet, but that's one on my list of things I want to look at. I don't know that I'll get around to doing it. Most of the things that I have are relatively modern, so I haven't explored any of those things. But I haven't shot any cast from rifles other than 30-30 Winchester. I just, as a matter of fact, I had that out at the range here. I guess it was Thursday, and I've been shooting some relatively light bullets with Trail Boss. I enjoy that, and then I ran a few through it that were more or less full load 170 grain. I enjoy the rifle. It's a lot of fun, but as far as casting a rifle, that's the limit of my experience with that.
Yeah, I see. I'm like me and Willie the Bullet Man. We've been experimenting kind of off the wall things, working with the zinc bullets. I actually kind of gave him some hints on how to paper patch. He wants to try it as well. Surprisingly, 35 Remington and the ones you mentioned are pretty good bullets. I think that will work really good for paper patching. Like I said, it's not really talked about, so there's not much info out there. And what I did learn, like I said, is mostly from my uncle's reloading book. So luckily, I was able to inherit what he's given me, what he left behind. And as I go on with this this journey on this paper patching, I will definitely share it with you guys. So I kind of encourage people to check it out and see what they come up with. It's nothing dangerous, like I said. It's as long as you follow the load manuals, you could shoot these paper patch bullets, pretty safe and without issues.
Yeah. Gunfun ZS just piped up and said to the guy talking, I think he meant me. Curtis is the name. William C. Chapin is the YouTube channel and whatnot. And he's saying that he's got a cast bullet that he likes for 30-30. Yeah, I'd give anything a try. Like I said, I think the one that I'm shooting is a Lee. It's a 309 170 RF or something of that nature, but it's the gas check version. So I guess that'd be a C309. But this one, there goes the flag. I'll have to stand that back up. But it's the gas check flavor rather than the tumble lube, but it's not gas checked and we tumble lubed them anyway. And it shoots very well with the Trail Boss. It's a lot of fun. It's very light load, so it's kind of just a plinking kind of thing. But I would like to try a more full velocity cast out of the lever gun, if you will.
Yeah, surprisingly, pistol powder seems to work quite a bit for my 30-06. I kind of experimented with the Winchester 231, and I got a load that works about MOA accuracy at 100 yards with a plain base, non-gas check HTC bullet from NOE. It's a 153 HTC spiral point, and I was really surprised, how accurate it is as far as using pistol powder. But of course, the velocity is around 1400 FPS. It's a good plinking round, like you're saying, and it burns 100%, and it leaves my barrel pretty clean. So, hope to do more experiment on that.
Hey, Kurt Vaughn, I sent you the link for the live chat. Do you want to join in here, brother?
Hey, Kenny, it's kind of weird that you mentioned the 35 Remington and paper patching bullets. I spent the morning casting these. These are 200 grains out of Jamie's mold. I don't know if he's out there in chat land or not.
I saw him show up out there.
Yeah, I spent the morning casting probably about 60 pounds worth of these 200 grainers. I've got them over here on the floor. I still got to powder coat them, but I was thinking about taking a bunch and paper patching them.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think what works is, what's going to be the challenge is sizing them down to your bore diameter. I tried going from a 309 to like a 305 using that NOE nose bushing die or the push through sizing die, and it took so much pressure. I had to put a cheater bar in my press just to get that thing to push through. So what I ended up doing is going down in increments of 2000s, and even that was still a pain in the butt. So I'm thinking maybe I might ask Lee for a specific sizing die to 303. That's the diameter I need.
You mean that gizmo?
Yep, that gizmo right there. Exactly. Yeah.
It's a good man. Them things are great.
Kyle, you mean this gizmo? Same thing in this press.
There you go. Heck yeah.
I'm feeling left out. I'm still running the Lee sizer.
Well, the nice thing about the NOE sizer is being able to change the inserts on the fly. It's so nice to be able to do that. And then they're smaller. And I have one of those tray organizers. I just put all the little pieces in it, and it just makes it so convenient to do it that way. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is it's big enough in diameter that I can't use it on my utility press with a breech lock bushing because it won't clear the hole, and it has to come in from the top. So, but I've been using this old JR2, and it works very well. This was one of my dad's presses that was the first press I loaded on. I was prepared for the how'd you get started conversation, so that's why it's here.
Hey, JCM wants to know, is this where all the cool kids hang out? Well, now
No.
that you're here, brother, you'll
No.
bring them.
I've been accused of a lot of things, and I've never once been accused of being cool.
I'm in the same boat, brother.
Hey, Vaughn, I don't know what to tell you. That the only way I know to join is that link I sent you. And if maybe we'll have to sort it out for next time if it's not letting you in.
Bacon, Uncle Jim just noticed the flag in the 50 caliber case. He says, "Hey, chap, that's my flag and bullet." It is. There's a lot of things that Uncle Jim hasn't realized that are going on.
Uncle Jim, you should lock your basement door.
Now, are you suggesting he lock other people out or he lock himself in?
Either or.
You know, at work, I work in a bomb shelter, and it's just a remnant of the late 50s. And, you know, one of my friends was talking about they need to have a bomb shelter or whatever. I said, I work in a bomb shelter. And they said, that's because you're like the bomb, and it's easier to contain you than to protect everyone else.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I luckily don't have that that dilemma. I don't work in a bomb shelter. So.
Thorzax Dave says that Uncle Jim and Jerry are arguing. I hope Uncle Jim doesn't interrogate Jerry too hard. And reveal.
Hey, Uncle Jim, if you can jump on Slack, there's the link there. Jerry's allowed to join, but not both of you. We don't have room for both.
Yeah, not both at once. Nobody can handle that.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
seen
since
those two in action. You don't want to witness that.
Since Jerry's name is on the Zippo, I would think that Jerry's probably lit. I was telling Uncle Jim when he popped in the room, I got a couple things for him, and you know he figured one out. I stole his idea for the flag in the 50s, so that was one. I've got some others for him though here, so you know we've got plenty of entertainment for everyone.
Yeah. Speaking of Jim, he helped me out with that annoying little clanking sound. You know, I really didn't notice it until I saw the video. So that was the funny part.
I was
That
so
was
mad at him. I was so mad when he posted that video because I had never heard that sound, period, until he posted it.
Yeah, exactly. I've never really paid attention to it until I saw the video, and I was like, man, that is annoying. And after
If you'll notice right here, I took the rod out because it was annoying me so bad.
See, Uncle Jim almost did that right. Almost. What he should have done was pre-made up a bunch of custom magnets, then did the video and said, oh, by the way, I've got these things for sale.
Right.
And they should have the Reloaders Network logo on them.
Oh, we could
Oh,
probably
and
do
hats
that.
off on the new logo back. That
Yep.
looks awesome.
So it is awesome, and about 99% of the credit for that goes to Eagle Eye sitting here on the chat and another guy, a Mooser. The two of those guys jammed a whole bunch of ideas together, left most of the bad ones on the floor, and came out with that logo.
It's a shame that he couldn't be here tonight. His wife's grandmother passed away, or he had a death in the family, or something like that. I feel really bad for him because he really wanted to be here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, life takes precedence, and like I said, you know, Mooser is a great guy. I work with him. The guy is really smart, and he knows graphic design really good. He chose the color and everything, and we kind of, like I said, just commingled designs together, and I think it came out great. So,
James Pollard needs a magnet. Uncle Jim, get busy.
Hell, I can use one too, Jim. Maybe then I can.
I used
put
to
my
have
rod
the
back in.
electrical. I used to have the electrical tape trick on mine, but I got to where maybe I'm weird. I like the noise. That's the sound of a Lee Classic turret press, and you know they have a very distinct sound, and it's part of the joy of loading on one. It's just got its own sound that's very, very distinct.
Curtis, I used to agree with that until I watched Jim's video. Now I can't stand to hear it.
Pretty soon he's going to claim the press is talking to him.
Oh Lord.
I'm just was reading through the comments here. So, hey, speaking of new logo on the site, appreciate you guys joining in there. but you know, we're just getting this thing started, and we kind of get to make it up as we go. So, you know what? Let's start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about your channel? Why did you jump onto YouTube? What is it you're hoping to show on your channel, and what are your thoughts as we're heading into the Reloaders Network idea and website as well?
Okay. Well, honestly, I really didn't think I would be publicly doing videos. I mostly started this channel because I suck at documenting my reloads. And I got 2 young boys that just terrorize my reloading books and make confetti out of it. So
it's paper patching, man. Paper patching.
Yeah, paper patching or Nerf guns, I guess. So, you know, I mostly just started just documenting it, and I kind of hope just to pass down to my 2 young boys, you know, something that they can look forward to and say, hey, my dad did this, and it was pretty cool. What I hope on doing is, you know, let's continue on. I like I said, there's will be a lot of big changes happening for me. I'm going to be moving and be a lot more, I'd say, open space. And of course, Glendale. Continue on. Yep, we just had moving and be a lot more. Right on. Let's say. So,
hey, 243 Outdoors on it. You need to mute your end if you can, bud, or something.
I think it might be Old Blue. I think he might have 2 on or something.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on here.
So yeah, future videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more load development, long range shooting. So you know, I'm learning a lot from people like West Desert Shooter and some of the other folks out there that are doing long range shooting. So that's my journey.
Outstanding. Actually, we'll get back around to the question on the website. Welcome aboard, Mr. 243 Outdoors. How are you?
I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me all right?
Hey, what's up, Josh? You sound good, man.
Yeah. I had to go to Google Chrome and everything worked out all right now. I think I got it figured out.
Nice.
The Googler.
Yeah.
It didn't like Internet Explorer.
Is that still a browser? No.
It for me.
Kyle, how about you? What drove you to start uploading videos to YouTube, and what's your channel about, man?
Actually, what got me started loading videos to YouTube was pretty much a dare by all you guys. I've been commenting on everybody's videos, and
we peer pressured you into being a YouTube creator.
Do what now?
We peer pressured you into uploading videos. I love it.
That's exactly what happened. And you know, I do my own thing, and actually, it's really cool that me and Jamie have fallen into this 35 Remington thing. It's actually been a lot of fun. I just want, you know, I've got a little bit of knowledge about certain things, and other people have knowledge about things that I don't. So I just want to spread what I've got. During the spring and summer and the fall, I do a lot of hiking and camping and stuff like that. So I like to take pictures and videos of that. And those are going to be coming on the channel as well. But here through the wintertime and deer season, turkey season, all that, I don't really have access to where I go shooting. So I've just been doing this, and it seems to be working out. I've made a lot of great friends, and any of you guys are welcome at my house anytime, and let's go shooting.
You know, it's amazing how close you can come to this group of people you've never met, you know?
Yeah. Definitely, man.
Well, in your case, hanging out with Jamie and a couple of others in Georgia as well. So,
hell, I've even invited Timothy Robinson to come on down from Missouri, and I thought we were actually seriously planning a trip, and then he backed out. He had stuff come up and all that, but we were going to I was going to take a week off work, and we were going to do nothing but film, and have a ball. You know, do some fishing, do some shooting, and all that stuff, and let y'all in on all of it. But you know, certain things came up, so.
Oh, sure. Yeah, life happens.
Exactly.
Hey, Vaughn, I sent that link again. Nice shirt, by the way, Kyle.
Yeah. I forgot
thank you, sir.
There should have been a memo out there. Everybody should get that shirt on.
Y'all can't see it because I'm showing the screen instead of my ugly mug, but I am currently wearing that shirt as well. So Thank you, Kenny, for those. Those are awesome, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, nice shirt, Bacon.
I didn't realize that Bacon was such a blackout shooter.
Yeah.
You know, not yet, but here in a few months, there's a few uppers I plan on acquiring, and one of them may happen to have blackout in the name.
And one of my friends had one that wasn't working quite right, and it got dubbed the fixer upper.
Oh, that's awesome. How about you, Mr. 243 Outdoors? What drove you to YouTube? What's your channel about?
Well, I started out on YouTube with my four-wheel drive off-road hobby. I was actually pretty early on YouTube, I think starting about 2009, and kind of got out of that hobby and got into shooting, and wanted a different channel to start posting videos on, and 243 Outdoors was born. I just kind of thought of the name one night, started a channel, and started posting some videos, and the rest is history.
That's outstanding. Yeah, for folks that haven't seen it, if you want to see some long range shooting through the bare fields of Iowa,
Illinois,
one of those ice states. They're the same thing, aren't they?
pretty close. Cornfields and bean fields.
Well, I think Chicago may have something to say about that. But man, tiny little groups at distances beyond where the eye can see. 243.
When people ask where you're from, you always say Southern Illinois. We don't want any confusion with Chicago.
So you're down near St. Louis.
From Decatur, Illinois.
I am almost exactly in the middle between St. Louis and Evansville, Indiana. Just pretty much right in the middle.
Yeah, 243 Outdoors. I found his channel when I was looking through the Long Range Shooters of Utah, the Milk Jug Challenge. And I came across your channel, and I saw that you and West as a Shooter were doing 243 loads, and that just got me attracted to basically what you're doing. So I've been following your channel quite a bit, and I really appreciate all the info.
I haven't told a lot of people, but this week I will be traveling across the country, going to Utah. I will be shooting at the Long Range Shooters of Utah's International Milk Jug Challenge Friday and Saturday. So I'm going to be taking off Tuesday, driving out there. It's going to take a couple days to get there. Looking really forward to that.
Are you driving that old 4x4?
No. That one gets about 4 miles a gallon.
How's that thing run? It runs great. Oh yeah, it goes gallon gas, gallon gas, gallon gas, gallon gas, gallon gas.
4 big block, and it likes the gas.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
So
that's really interesting.
I had another truck that I sold last summer, and basically that's what's funding this trip is me selling that truck. I haven't done anything with the money, and I said I'm going out to Utah, and I'm going to do this. So that's kind of the motivation.
Well, at least it's a Chevy. So
yes.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Kenny, I was admiring your Chevy in your video you posted today. That's a pretty nice looking truck, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm doing what I can here in California. It's actually a 383 stroker, but somehow it passes smog. So I don't know. I'm leaving it at
What'd you do? Pay the guy an extra 20?
No, it's on the borderline of the hydrocarbons. I don't know. I used to be a technician, to be honest, and I know a little bit about mechanics. And I was able to do what I can with it, but I'm right on the borderline of not passing. I think next year I'm probably going to, but it wouldn't matter anyway because I'm moving to a free state anyway.
So the 383 stroker, the 383, that's when you put the 400 small block in the 350 case?
No, it's just a different crank. I had to grind down inside the inside the small block.
You have to line bore it to the larger crank journals for the 400 crank.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, and then I dropped in a Comp Cams 503 in it, so that's why it sounds a little beefier. In fact, the exhaust on it is stock, but it sounds like it has a Flowmaster. That's the funny part.
Up 225 just popped in. He said he's going to decap his 556 for the first time. I noticed he has lead eyes. Don't be afraid to tighten that collet on the top. You won't break it. It will push out before you break anything. You won't have any trouble. Just keep on keeping on.
Yep. You can't push on it hard enough to mess it up.
Hey, Josh, how many people are showing up to that milk jug challenge?
They've allowed 20 people in this year. They done 25 last year, and I think the time consuming, it took a little long, so they limited it to 20. And had a couple spots open up in the last week or so, but I think they may have got them filled. I haven't really heard, but I'm really looking forward to it. I got a lot of good ammo loaded up. Taking about 3 guns with me: the 243, the 6.5, and probably the 223 also. But got about a suitcase of ammo going with me.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Andy79Z28 says his wife broke one. I wonder if she did that to get him out of the reloading room.
She had to have used a tank or something. I don't know how you could break the pin, or not the pin, but the shaft itself.
Oh, he's saying this is after 8,000 rounds of 223.
Now, the newer ones, I haven't seen it in the universal decapping die, but in some of the full-length sizing dies, they've went away from the steel rod with a piece of music wire inserted into it, and they've went to a rod that's ground down on the end. And I don't think they're as robust as the older ones. I prefer the older style that has the hardened steel, like music wire insert pressed into it.
I went after I bent or broke mine. In my universal decapper, I went on Amazon somewhere, and I ended up picking up a 3-pack of these.
The Squirrel.
Extra hard, yeah, and I'm still on my first one. It's running just fine.
Yep, I ended up with some of those by accident once, and I think those are very nice.
So, looks like Phil Rivers is interested to see who won that giveaway today, where I went out and shot that 1,000 yards. Like I said, I got the target back. I never opened it yet. So I don't know if we have some time. We could probably see who won.
Ooh.
What do you think? Yep. So
Yeah,
Open
is that
that
take a
bad
second
boy
to open up, or is that like a 2-second deal?
yeah, 2-second deal. See who wins.
Sounds good, man.
Okay. So let's see.
Watch your fingers. Sharp.
Now, what was the purpose of this contest again? There you go.
What was funny is I named it a 250 subscriber giveaway, and out of nowhere I got this bump on subscribers. So I appreciate all the guys that gave me shout outs, and I was able to. I'll be giving out basically a custom Pelican cup and 250 bullets. Basically, it'll be powder coated with custom Pelican cup. So, anyways, here's the target. The impact was here, and the winner is Bill Johnson. Check that out.
Outstanding.
So,
Congratulations
on here. Go ahead and get a hold of me. I guess I'll put on that video my email, and I'll send him a custom Pelican cup. He's got to choose a logo of his choosing and color, and it's a pretty good cup. I had a what do you call it? That I had another cup. I threw it away because they weren't supporting NRA. But I'll get
the other company.
So, hey, congratulations.
Actually, Kenny, here's the thing about Yeti. It's not that they single-handedly targeted the NRA. They straight up pulled their discounts across the board. It's the media that made it come out like they were against the NRA. And they've come out since then. We're not against the NRA. We just pulled all discounts all across the board. Because, let's face it, they charge way too much for a damn cooler. But
there's always two sides of the story and the truth, So you're probably right about that. I was like, you know what? It had a little ding in it anyway, so I just said I'm just going to buy a new cup for him. And Pelican, honestly, seems like a new cup.
I mean, I understand why you did what you did and what you did it for. But, yeah, the media totally blew all that way out of proportion.
Oh, that would never happen.
Got everybody all fired up because people just don't want to sit back and look at what's going on.
Yeah.
Bacon, Kurt Vaughn was saying that he needed another link a little while ago. Did you get that to him?
I did. Well, it should have. Well, if he's still listening, I fired it off again, but it's the same link.
Okay.
It took me a minute to get here too, Kurt. So Just go through it and try to remember your password. If you can't remember the password, get you a new one.
Well, and apparently don't use Internet Explorer. You use Chrome, right?
Yeah, that doesn't work at all.
I'm actually doing mine on my phone, which was weird with the way that you sent the link, because it made me sign in to I had to sign in to Google Hangouts, and I was like, what? This is weird. It's just the way that you sent the link. You have to go in on the Google side. So, yeah, if you're on a PC, you're going to have to use Chrome.
I couldn't find the link on my phone. I was looking pretty hard.
That's not his phone. He's just joking. That's his next target for his long distance shoot.
That's not a phone. That's a target.
That's a target. I agree. I was wondering what that beeping sound was. I guess I just figured it out. I saw Kyle out there with his Chargemaster, his Hornady.
The good thing about those old flip phones, the battery lasts so much longer than the smartphones. My on-call phone for work is a vintage flip phone, and I don't even have to charge it all week long when I'm carrying it. Whereas, I have to be careful sometimes what I'm doing in the course of a day with an iPhone.
Yeah, I can probably go. I can go a week usually without charging mine.
How long does your pager last?
What I want to know is what's the address of the payphone that you use when the pager goes off?
Well, I got to run about 2 blocks over to the payphone and find a quarter. That's always the hard part.
A few months ago, I was driving somewhere, and I think I was in a line for to pick up some Little Caesars pizza because we were going big that night, big spender. And I had one of my boys with me, and I stopped. I said, "Look, there was a payphone there, and it still actually had the phone attached to it."
Wow!
I said, "This little piece of history right here. Take a look at that, would you?"
And they didn't understand at all, did they?
JCM 45 is asking about the fax attachment for that cell phone you've got there.
I was dealing with somebody recently, and they wanted me to send them a fax, and I was like, "What? Okay, I'll sort that out." But what is this? The 1980s?
Then I'll also tell you that I use a TV tower also and don't have cable.
Well, I'm with you on that. I cut my cable about 15 years ago and haven't looked back.
I had it for 2 or 3 years, and the bill kept going higher and higher, and then finally I just told them to cancel it. It wasn't worth $80-90 a month, no more than I watch TV.
I actually had a cable repairman come over. We had somebody got lost in a big truck and tried to make a right-hand turn and took out the main power pole coming into the subdivision, which actually had all the telephone and TV and power and everything else going to it as well. So I was the one that made the phone call, said, "Hey, come check it out. I know exactly where the problem is. This is what happened." Well, I get the phone call the next day. "Hey, we have to make sure that your service is working because you're the one that called it in." So I'm like, "Well, I'm across town. It'll be about 20 minutes before I can be there." He goes, "I'm on the clock. I'll be here when you get here." Okay. So I get home, and he goes, "I'm not even picking up a signal from inside your house." I'm like, "Yeah, it's because I got the router cut off." Huh? So I go inside, cut it on, and he goes, "Does it always take this long?" And this was like last September or something. I said, "I don't know. I hadn't had the TV on since the Super Bowl."
Don't need it. I got YouTube.
Exactly.
Kyle, several folks are asking what you're loading. You're gathering some interest there, so we need to let you talk about your reloading project that you're working on.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same.
I'm loading some chronograph killers. What I've got here, it's some of the NOE mold. They're supposed to be 278, but they come out about 285 grain. 44 mags. I've got these gas checked and powder coated. There you go. Made them a little zombie green. Sitting them on top of a little bit of unique. I'm making some rounds for me and Jamie to play with next time we go to our indoor range. So, Jamie, there's your invite.
Is he in the chat? Did he pop in? Yeah, 586 is JH586 is Jamie, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
He was there just a minute ago. Yeah.
you're shooting 44. You're shooting your lever action now.
These are going to be. They're short enough to cycle in the lever action. I can shoot them through the lever action or the Red Hawk, either or. I'm trying to see if it matters. Hang on. I'm trying to see if it matters if they're gas checked or not, because it's the same bullet. This one's got the gas check groove. This one's already got the gas check on it, but I want to see if this other one is the exact same bullet without the groove. I want to see if the gas checks make a difference, and I don't know, so I just got to try it. So,
yeah, you may actually need to test that in both your firearms, because where it may make a difference is some accuracy based on how the gases escape as the back of the bullet leaves the muzzle. So there may be something about your muzzle that makes a difference. I doubt you're going to see any difference.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
definitely
that's what I was
something
gonna
about
do.
my muzzle that makes a difference all the time.
I was
And
gonna,
if they hit
I was
the
gonna shoot 'em out of the Red
chronograph,
Hawk
they
and
won't
the,
read an error anyway.
I was going to shoot them out of the Red Hawk and the lever action anyway, and see if I noticed a difference out of either one. Don't worry.
I think
I'll
that was
bring
the
up
first
more.
video I loaded to YouTube, was how I had shot my chronograph the very first time I had it with a 270 grain 44 mag.
Like
I've
Jamie,
shot
like
my,
Jamie says,
tripod on my camera before.
like Jamie says, one does not simply nick a chronograph with a 44 Magnum.
You say that. I duct taped it back together and used it for a couple of years before I had to have it repaired.
I have some 9mm bullet streaks across the top of mine. It put a lead stain on the plastic. I mean, and it was my own fault. It was getting late in the evening, and I kept trying to shoot closer and closer to try to get a good reading. And I didn't even realize it until I'm like, wow, that tripod must be loose. It's leaning backwards, and the bullets were, I think, 2 or 3 just grazed the top of it on the far side of the tripod. So I was very fortunate.
Uncle Jim keeps talking about the name of the group. Am I supposed to type that in somewhere, or are you just curious?
Is it Uncle Jim or is it Jerry?
Oh, this
It's
is
probably
a good question.
Gary typing as Uncle Jim. He does that a lot.
Oh my goodness.
I think I'm going to be the next one to actually hit the chronograph.
Is he asking
I'll
for
ask
the
him.
Remoters Network, or what is, I'm not sure what he's asking for.
That may be, or what do you name a group where, I mean, this is an odd gathering of folks, but you've got guys here that are heading into long range shooting. You got guys that deal with extremely long range shooting. You've got guys that shoot chronographs at a couple feet. You've
Point blank
shooters. You got
Hey, Bacon.
yeah.
Uncle Jim wants a link, is what's going on. He
He's
wants a
knocking
link.
on the door. Isn't he still in the bubble? Can he get out of the bubble?
The only contact I've got for him, I do have an email for him. I sent it to him on Slack, but he normally avoids us on Slack and then blames us for not giving him info.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
All right, let me. Hey, Curse, we haven't gotten to you yet. What got you to YouTube, and what's your channel about, man? What? And I'll see if I can send that email to Uncle Jim in a way that
Well,
he quits blaming us.
it got started with that first video of trimming the blackout brass with the tin snips. And I was at the shooting range shooting blackout, and another fellow there said, "Hey, I want to do that." And he says, "How do you trim your brass?" And he'd been watching some videos with the Harbor Freight saws and various things. And I told him, I said, "I've tried a lot of things. I've used a small chop saw. I've used I used my lathe for a while, and this and that and the other." And I said, and somewhere I saw this guy that said I trim them with tin snips, and he didn't show anything. So of course. I knew you couldn't just stick it in the mouth and snip it off. I figured you had to go around it. So I was doing it that way, and I told the guy, I said, I use a pair of tin snips. And he goes, well, how does that work? And so I thought, gosh, I should just make a video of it. And I started fooling around, and I had this ancient, I think the brand name was Emerson, like a clone of a GoPro that came from Menards at Christmas time for like $19. And I shot the video. And it was awful. It was awful. I made the thing, and I couldn't tell what I was filming. And,
I remember that video. It was great.
I started to try. I really wanted to do the first person view thing with the camera on my head so I could use both hands. I really wanted to do that. And that camera had no stabilization or anything. So around Christmas time, they started a sale on the GoPro Hero 5 Session, and the price was really good. And included in the kit as a bonus was a headband. And I thought, wow, I'll try that. So then I reshot that video. It's nothing special, but it got me started. And I posted it. And then Loads of Bacon, if anybody's heard of him, did a video where he was shooting his ATI 45. And I didn't have a 1911 at the time, and I saw that ATI and the pricing on it, and I had just looked at one in a gun show and was really thinking about it.
Oh, Jerry's on board.
A very timely video. Oh, hey, Uncle Jim, yay!
Now it's a party.
Nice flag, Uncle Jim. That's you got it.
Welcome to the party, pal.
So I watched this video of Bacon's 45, and at the end, he set the hook in me. And he says, and these are a ball to shoot. And it was 45 hardball, and I had to say something. So I reached out to him on email, and I took a picture. I had some Winchester target ammo that actually said, ball, 45 ball, blah, blah, blah. And I showed him some pictures of my Colt. And so we talked about it a little bit, and next thing you know, I picked up that 44 Special, and there happened to be a guy that has a rubber resemblance on the internet that kind of, pressured me into making videos, and he featured me as the first tube maker of the week, and that's how it got started.
Isn't that the same video where he got his hand? The same video where Bacon got his hand?
It might be. It might, because he had to round the corners of the tail on that ATI.
Yeah,
I still got a little mark on my hand.
Said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Bacon. I've got big hands too. You won't have a problem. And sure as crap, the next video, I got my hand, so I had to do it.
Since Uncle Jim is here, he just turned black. Is he still here? Or did he disappear?
No, he's here. He's here.
I'm here.
You're here, Uncle Jim?
Yeah, I don't know what to look at, but I'm here. Yeah.
Look at this.
Hearing.
Say something, Curtis. So your thing shows up on the big screen.
Take a look at this. If I can get it in the right spot, it's hard to get it in the right spot.
This thing's lagging. Wait a second. I'm lagging or something. Aha. Yes.
that is the official target, Uncle Jim, and it needs to make it to you. So please contact me and let's make this happen. I want to get this to you. If you want me to sign it, I'll sign it. If you want me to leave it pristine and you can do what you want with it, that's fine too. But this needs to come to you.
Is that the original?
That one is the original.
Oh, okay.
Guys, give me 1 second. I've got children manners to take care of. I'll be right back.
That's
Yep.
funny stuff. I laughed.
Oh, you're good, man.
I laughed so hard when I saw that.
I told Bacon about that video. I made the teaser video on the 44 Special project, and Bacon looked at it. He says, "Oh, that's, so we put it up. It was good." And then I was working on it, and I texted him and I said, I kind of got a shout out video making a little fun of Uncle Jim, and I posted it, and I think Bacon was waiting for it because he watched it like as soon as it was loaded. He says, "Nailed it."
Funny stuff. I laughed
Typical.
so hard.
Typical.
Yeah, we had some of that today. Yeah.
Well, Ben, you just stepped in the room, Uncle Jim. Why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd? What got you onto YouTube, and what's your channel feature for those that haven't seen it?
Just whatever. Just whatever. I don't know how I got on YouTube. One night I thought, hey, let's do a channel. I had an older channel. And so I said, let's start fresh out in the country here. And that's what I did. So I don't know.
I woke up one day and I was on YouTube. I don't know how that happened.
Exactly. I think it has something to do with the lighter. Where is that lighter? It definitely has something to do with the lighter. But looky here.
Hey, West Desert Shooter showed up.
Oh, outstanding.
Nice. What's up, man? West Desert Shooter, what's up?
Oops,
West Desert Shooter, if you go on Slack, you should have the link. If not, let me know. We're going to try and jam as many people in here as we can to try to break YouTube or the internet.
All right, sorry guys, I'm back.
I think Uncle Jim froze. Is he okay, or is he like encapsulated in carbonite?
Jerry did it.
I think it's his 4K camera. Eat up all the bandwidth.
I should be fine. It's just I don't know how far I'm lagging here. I can't tell who's on and what. I can see a little bit on the phone up here, but looking on the iPad, I'm lagging a little.
Yeah, overall we're probably lagging a bit from what we're seeing on the, well, in this case on your phone.
The only way that I've found to do it is to only have the volume up on the phone, if that's what you're talking into, and then just deal with the lag on your laptop or your tablet or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, and my battery's almost dead. Typical. I wasn't planning on doing that. See, I was ready to take. After
Good evening, Uncle Jim. How are you?
Good.
Look what appeared on my screen.
Charles Irby, Charlie is here. Hey, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Is that Senior Brass Stuffer?
It is, sure is. He's not in the video, but he's in the comments.
Right.
Magnets, bitch.
Yeah, but those aren't custom cut yet, are they?
No. They're like it's a hobby type deal. Yeah.
Made to order.
No, maybe you should cut them to that crescent shape that they always have on outhouses, Uncle Jim.
Oh, there's an idea.
I'd buy it.
How did that evolve? Does anybody know? Why do outhouses at campgrounds or in the woods, or why is there the vent hole on the door that's always cut in the shape of a moon?
I used to know, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, there was a tradition about that, and I can't remember either.
It's so your flip phone can get a cell reception.
That's why no one remembers. It was that long ago.
It had something to do with if you open the door, you didn't want to see a full moon. You only want to see a partial one. I can't remember what it was. I'm sitting there trying to think. I used to know it. I can't remember what it was. That used to be some trivia that we'd do.
I'd Google it, but my phone's all tied up right now.
With what? Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I'll use my computer.
Vaughn, I don't think that will connect us. You'd probably just ring through to my iPad. The only way I know of to get it on here is to use that link. Well, we may just have to get you into the next one.
Hey, Bacon, can you say that again? Could you say that again? Kyle's press is making some kind of clanking noise, and I can't hear what you're saying.
Well, if he had a magnet, he'd be good.
All right, Kyle, I got an answer for that. According to
I'm not
Google,
sure what that was saying in Morse code, but I don't think it was polite.
Hang on. I'm gonna pull a page.
Yeah, hey, Kyle, so apparently that crescent moon that you're talking about, it says that in the time when a few people could read, the crescent moon was a symbol for women and the star cut out was for men.
So I've been going in the women's bathroom all these years?
Hey, I'm gonna pull something out of a page out of Uncle Jim's book.
As long as you're near a college campus, Curtis, it doesn't matter which.
Yeah, they're neutral, you know.
There it is.
Oh, the sensor.
Oh Lord.
Willie just got a hold of Elvis for me. This is for Willie. You watching, Willie? Can you see this?
I can see it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Willie the Bullet Man. Taco bullets right here. And they're sprueless. I mean, no. Yes. So.
Do those taco bullets come with some guacamole and hot sauce, Uncle Jim?
Well, we'll leave the sauce out of it. So, yeah.
Hey guys, can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay, I was sitting here getting my brass ready to load up for tonight, and this is really odd to me. I've got a 44 Magnum casing. I don't know if y'all can see it, but you see how it still has the outer rim of the primer in there.
That's happened to me a few times where just the back end of the cup pops out, but it leaves the rest of the primer in there.
Yeah, I mean, can I cut that out of there, or do I just throw the piece of brass away?
I have managed a couple times to get that out of there. I think I end up using one of those little, you get the $4 or $5 pick set for $1 at Harbor Freight.
Right, yeah.
I think I managed to jam a hole on my finger at the same time.
Right. I didn't know if it was worth the trouble or what, because I've loaded tens of thousands of rounds of everything else. This is my first time loading 44 Magnum, and I've never seen this before. And I said, you know what? I'm going to set that right by my press, so I make sure to ask somebody about that.
I've had it happen one time, and I managed to find a drill bit that would just bite into it enough on the drill press that I managed to get it out. And I mainly wanted to get it out because I wanted to get it. It's sitting downstairs on the shelf. It's one of those mementos that you just kind of keep around.
Yeah, it's on the wall of shame, so to speak.
Yeah, more or less.
I mean, I've got a electronic brass prep center with a large primer cutting bit. I can probably grab it or whittle away enough of it where I could see another primer. But I just wondered if it happened to any of y'all.
What were you
I've had
showing
that
us
happen
there?
several times.
Yeah.
Uncle Jim was showing us something, but he didn't talk, so we didn't get it.
Well, somebody, was it High Boy, who was talking about off-center primers? You see this? Can you see that?
The hole's not in the middle?
Yeah, can you see it, though?
Not right now.
No, I see your profile pic.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
Now can you see it?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That is all the way to the side.
Yeah, ooh, that one's not concentric at all.
No, but since you're on primers, trust no one, okay?
What kind of what head stamp is that, Uncle Jim?
Now look at this. This was in the factory box. No. I was hit with 3 tons of force, yeah. That's what I do to them funny foreign primers, You got your Boxer and Berdan, and one of them gets smashed like a rose petal, like this. So, that's it. Oh, the donkey. Let's do the donkey. You hear that?
Well, there's a donkey there, that's for sure.
I was thinking that in the video. He goes, "Is there a donkey in here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I want to say it. I want to say it."
Did you read Measured in Grains' response?
Yeah.
I was like,
I
damn, he
see
beat me to it.
I see in here. Oh, I got to fix that after I paint it. Do something about it.
Mr. Robinson just tried contacting me. I'm assuming he's trying to jump in here. So if you're listening, brother, I just sent you the link in Slack as a direct message.
I'm detecting a disturbance in the force. Is it the Empire?
Man, wasn't that funny? I showed that to my kids. They didn't find it nearly as humorous as I did.
So I had a question for anybody that has any of these nose pour cast bullet molds. I mean, what are your guys' experience on a nose pour bullet? I mean, is it a lot easier to cast with? You know, is there accuracy advantages to it or whatnot?
I've shot some. I've never poured any. I've got some 45 Colt, a light 180 grain bullet that a friend cast, and it's because it's a hollow base, you know, for light load, so it'll obturate. It was nose poured, and they shot okay. I don't know about the molds that pour from the nose, though. I've never done one.
Yeah, I believe I seen a few on Accurate molds, and I was kind of interested in checking them out. I'm going to be experimenting with some gas checks on my 9mm. I kind of got like a leading issue going on. It streaks a little bit on my barrel. It doesn't affect accuracy, but I can't figure it out. I tried everything. I tried, I tried sizing my bullets to 358 and all the way down to 355, and I got the same situation going.
And now, now you're powder coating these bullets, correct?
Yeah, these are powder coated. I went all the way up to 32 BHN, and I went all the way down to 10. And then they got the standard.
What kind of firearm is it?
Oh, just my SIG P226.
Wow, I'm shooting them out of M&Ps, Glocks, Skies, High Points, everything. I haven't had a single bit of leading.
Yeah,
I'm almost wondering if there's something in that barrel. I wonder if you need to like fire lap that barrel or something.
Well, it's got over 7,000 rounds down it. I think it's fire lapped, but I slugged the barrel and it's still at 354 or just right at the verge of 355. So it's still
there we go. There we go. That's better. All right.
I'm not quite sure if that's a snake or if Uncle Jim's got a problem with a rope or what's happening there.
That is, I went to the Christmas light section and got an extension cord because my battery is almost dead.
I thought you were putting on a bolo tie.
It's a cluster, as usual. Typical.
Hey, Josh, have you I know you do a lot of long range stuff and cast, and those doesn't always go together unless your name is Eagle Eye, but have you done any bullet casting at all?
No, I have not. I would like to maybe get into that someday. I don't know when that'll be, but maybe it's like some 9mm or something like that. But just something to start out with. I think I can get a hold of Will Waits pretty easily. I got some family members in the tire business and some good friends. So I'd say Will Waits will be easy for me to get.
Yeah, speaking of Will Waits, I think we need a GoFundMe page for us Californians here. We're struggling, man. We can't find it anywhere. I'm having to buy mine on eBay.
Yeah, your best bet out there may just be gather U-Haul gift cards.
Hey, that's an idea. So
you're talking about
we're trying zinc out. I'm trying pure tin and whatever you can mold metal and it shoots through a barrel. I'm gonna try it out.
About 16, 17 years ago, I worked in a gas station, service station, and we done tire repair. And back then, I mean, I could have had literally barrels of lead and never thought nothing of it back then. Wasn't real big into shooting at that time.
I would start collecting it now because everyone around here hoards it. So collect it now, cast later. I wish I did that.
I got lucky one time. I went to San Diego and I scored on a boat keel. I got about a 300-pound boat keel that I sourced out, and I don't know. I must have shot a lot of 9mm because that's all gone.
Seems like the dive certification to get the lead would cost more than the lead if you bought it.
Yeah, the funny part is I actually almost got a ticket that day. I was driving on the freeway and I got pulled over for being overweight. My truck looked like a pre-runner.
So did you say I'm going to need a bigger boat?
Yeah, that would have been a good excuse.
Hey,
well, I was
Jim,
asking if there's any 300 blackout reloaders here. I think Plow in the chat. Any 300 blackout reloaders? There's a few here. If I'm not mistaken, I know Uncle Jim's done some 300 blackout in a couple of your videos, haven't you?
Oh yeah, there's a few right here. Can you see it right here?
Yeah. I love 300 blackout.
I'm a blackout loader myself.
Okay, there's a Noveski. Oh wait, no, wait. I'm confused here.
I put together a 7.5-inch 300 blackout AR pistol probably a couple of years ago, but I ended up trading it off for a shotgun. But I would like to get a full 16-inch upper here one of these days for my AR.
Yeah, I've seen you shoot shotgun on your channel before, Josh. You do any shotgun reloading?
No, I do not. We have a real big clay pigeon shoot one time a year, and that's really usually the few weeks before we get them out and start playing. Then we have our shoot, and then we usually have the thrower for a few weeks, and then that's about it. About a month of shotgun shooting.
Hey, Plow, he's not on tonight, but Full Lead Taco has got some 300 blackout stuff on his channel too.
After watching Uncle Jim's videos on them hobo slugs, I'm gonna start reloading the shotgun.
Yeah, I want to give it a try too, but I just don't feel like buying a press or even a hand press. I'd like to start doing a wax slug. Call it good.
Okay.
Do some of those steel wool shotgun shells like I did, and that's pretty fun at night.
Yeah, those dragon breaths. I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah,
So,
we did that New Year's.
What do you got gathered up there, Uncle Jim? Looks like you got a little show and tell going on.
You asked about 300 blackouts, so this is without opening the safes.
Man,
Yeah, we
I
got
love the
some.
300 blackout round. I personally think it's a really great cartridge for casting. It's capable of doing anything up to 500 yards, I think.
Well, and Uncle Jim's got a few cans to throw on the front as well, and that seems to be a good bullet for that as well.
If you shoot suppressed, I can see it. If not, well, either way, you know, it depends on. But if you shoot suppressed, you got to have a 300 blackout. You just got to.
I wanted to put a AR pistol together, and that was the reason for the 300 blackout. Was I did not want a 223 AR pistol with a short barrel. I just didn't see a lot of advantages to it, so I went with the 300, and I was happy with it.
Yeah, the 5.56 223 is annoying as hell, and it's useless with the short barrel. But you know, I got them too.
Yeah.
Would 458 SOCOM work in an AR pistol?
What's
Yeah.
that?
It will if you can hold on to it.
Oh, come on now.
You might shoot your chronograph.
Well, it happens. I didn't know how in depth we were going to go with 300 blackout. These are some Lee 230 grains that, oddly enough, I'm shooting through a Aimpoint PRO red dot, and my supersonics at 100 and these at 50 go through the exact same hole. I was just fortunate to find that magic formula. So
I've actually ordered a barrel. It's kind of a Wildcat. It's like the 300 blackout. It's a 7.62 by 40, and it's supposedly supposed to be just as good as the AK round, probably about 100 FPS faster. So I think I'll see what that does. I kind of want to. I don't really like shooting subsonics to 300 blackout, so I was wondering to see how fast I could push these Casper bullets.
Hey, nothing wrong with missiles, okay? Missiles. What are
It costs too
you?
much. It costs too much
Lead or
lead.
something?
I can't shoot that much lead.
I got a lot of 300 blackout stuff to do. Put it on the back burner.
I came across a deal on Hornady's Z-Max, the green zombie tipped AMAX. Midway USA had them on clearance, 110 grain, 30 cal bullets. Got a box of 500, and it was dirt cheap. It's the only reason I bought them. But I chronoed them, and I could check on my phone. I chronoed them before I shot it. But I could check on my phone, but I think they were like 3,400 feet per second. I mean, they were cooking. My buddy, me and my buddy were out at his house shooting them and chronoing them, and he goes, "Man, you need to name them things worm burners." They were moving.
You know, Kyle, I have a couple of blackouts as well. I have an 8.5-inch blackout pistol, and I have a 16-inch rifle build or carbine build, however you choose it. It's pistol gas though. But in the pistol, I started fooling around with a 110 grain Spire Point bullet. They were old Midway packaged ones that had been kicking around in some of my dad's stuff, and it's with a rather stout load of H110, and it's amazing how well they shoot. That little stubby bullet, you wouldn't think it would feed at all in an AR, but it feeds perfectly. And you know, I've only shot it to 50 yards, and it's incredible how well it shoots. And it's one of those things where nothing adds up in the right direction, and it just works, and you just
it
can't
just
figure it
works.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm running mine over. I can't remember if it's little gun or 4227, but it is.
I really like
extremely
4227 in the blackout. So
Yeah.
you know, I've got a lot of CFE black, and I haven't shot any little gun in it yet. I have little gun, but I haven't. But you know, 4227 has treated me very. Is that a blackout ranch? That's a marvelous.
Oh yeah. I use it in a lot of blackout. My 150, I use 4227. I think some of those 110s I've got in 4227 as well. And actually, I gave Jamie a pound of 4227 for his 35 Remington series.
Hey, Uncle Jim, I'll propose you a trade. Here's the trade, Uncle Jim. Look what I got here, Uncle Jim. I'll make a trade. I'll make a trade.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. Joking aside, Uncle Jim, if you want a new 92 and 38 357, my friend's shop's got one on the wall. We can ship it to your FFL. We'll make it happen.
Ooh, Rossi. What kind?
Yes. Rossi 92, 38 357. It's just like this one I have in my hand, except for it's not the rifleman version. Or this one's got the big loop. You know, the one that's on the wall down there is the little bit longer barrel, and it's the standard loop. The price is reasonable. We can fix it up if you want it.
Yeah, that's what.
I'll
right
be
there.
interested in that as well.
Yeah, I'll take
Now,
California.
the reason I got this out is there's some ammo that feeds in ARs, and there's some ammo that feeds in this, and there's some they both don't like. This doesn't like the missiles. It doesn't like the big bullets. And you were talking about the little, like I have the old round nose bullets and everything, different sizes, and 30 cal, and that's fine for this. You get a big bullet, and it noses up right against the shoulder of the barrel up in here, in the chamber.
Is that a bull barrel?
No, this is light. I would say.
I think they call it medium contour.
Yeah.
That's like my Ruger American 6.5. They call it medium.
Yeah, and it's still.
Now, Uncle Jim, does that use a typical box mag, or has that got the Ruger mag?
That's where they screwed up. And after that somebody farmed these, Ruger farmed these out, and they should have used
Thank you, Vaughn.
Mini 14. What they should have done. Now in the 76239, they're using Mini 14 mags, Mini 30 mags.
Mini 30 mag, yeah. Yeah, I had my hands on one of those a week ago, and I almost bought it, but I'm like, I'd rather have the blackout, and I didn't, I didn't grab it.
Hey, Uncle Jim, there's a company called Ragged Hole that has a single shot loading block that'll work for that, if that's something you're interested in.
And those work very well.
They do there's people that do magazines with the stock, and it's, this was a cheap rifle. Why, I don't want an $800 American. It was like 300, and buddy he had two of them. He shipped me one through my FFL, and he sold it to me for $300 brand new.
That's not a bad deal at all.
And Remington,
I love the little
Remington
fucker.
also did a Model 7 recently that was in 300 blackout, and it was a tactical looking piece, kind of a matte finish and all that. And that looked pretty nice too. I saw a couple of those at a shop and considered it, but I didn't.
They had some feeding issues. They were a little picky, and I don't know if they ever fixed it, but the first magazines that came with the Ruger had issues, and they sent me a new one. I fixed the old one though, so I got two mags now.
Yeah. Hey, Uncle Jim, I was wondering if you want to try out some of these HTC bullets that I've been having great luck with it. This is the 135 from NOE. I'll shoot you a whole batch. Let me know.
Oh man, I already owe you, man. You gave me 2 shirts that I'm not wearing right now. Oops. Typical.
Hey, speaking of
Yeah,
shirt,
yeah.
Kyle, show off that shirt again, just so just to rub it in Uncle Jim's face. The what he forgot to wear because he didn't read the memo that you didn't send.
Yeah.
I got to wait.
I got a few left if anybody's interested. I don't know if you want to probably do a giveaway or something. What's bacon?
What do you want for them, Kenny? I'll take a couple of more.
Don't worry about it, man. I'll send you a couple.
Kenny, do you have any that are in small sizes, like medium?
Medium? No, unfortunately, I got they're all sold out.
Yeah, if I get a large, it's it's like a dress.
Curtis and the Moo Moo.
Yeah, I mean, there'll probably be later on in the future. Might be some more merchandise popping up, but we'll see how it rolls.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of merchandise, the Reloaders Network website, it's, a few weeks ago, I hadn't even thought of it. And all of a sudden, here we are. We've got, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood, 140 posts up there. We've got over 30 people listed as authors on there. I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all's involvement in this. And I think this could be a huge thing. With that, I'm in contact right now with a couple potential merchandise providers. So I'm looking at hats, and T-shirts, and coffee mugs. I'll stay out of the magnet game for now.
I want my little bacon man.
Willie Bullet Man says that Jerry is wearing Uncle Jim's shirts, and then and we got a comment that Jerry wears the pants from Foot.
Good old Fuzzy.
You try and shake Jerry.
Hey, Bacon.
Yeah.
What do I have to do to get a bacon man?
It's so strange. So I picked up a few of those, never had a problem finding them. They were about, I don't know, $6 or $7 a piece. So what was it, around Christmas time? Sent, had those guys along as delivery men with some bullets. Elvis shot one in the face.
Right, bastard.
I'll tell you, don't mess with that steel mesh mafia, man. And so, yeah, some people went looking for some more. And all of a sudden, the only ones you could find were like $70 a piece.
I saw that. I went looking around and I found them. And me and my girlfriend were sitting here, and she goes, it's not going to be the same unless he sends it.
You can't have an imposter.
So
yeah, that's funny.
I have no special connection on those. I was just going on Amazon and picking some up, and now I wish I'd stocked up.
Right.
Hey, I see JCM45 in the comments. I got to say it. The Bacon Man is real. Man, JCM45 has got the voice. I don't know if that guy was a DJ or what, but, man, I watch his videos. And I'm like, his voice is awesome.
He is in the recording video. Yeah. He's in the recording business.
Who said
I did say before. He's got a voice out there.
Jazz voice.
Yeah, Hollywood voice, that's for sure.
Brody556 is on. He's saying that he'll be writing soon. He is in the list of authors. No articles up yet, but has had some stuff going on, but he'll be contributing as well.
And I really need to work on that, Bacon, and I apologize for it. You allowed me into the little realm, and I think I've only put 1 or 2 up. I need to get better about that and start posting it over there. I apologize to you for that, sir.
Oh, well, don't apologize to me. Apologize to your viewers that are patiently waiting at the website to see what Kyle Lusk has been up to.
I've been releasing my videos to the Reloaders Network usually a day early, kind of give people a little bonus or whatever. You don't have to wait as long.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
That was a great idea.
That's a good idea.
Man, I didn't see it pop up, and then I saw it on the Reloaders Network, and I thought it was pretty cool.
You know what? I'll be the first to tell you. I know it's not a perfect site. Of course not. It's only a few weeks old, and we've got, the sky's the limit of what this thing could be. So I'm curious, y'all's thoughts on what it is and where you want to see it go, that sort of thing. I don't know where the conversation will go. Let's. Did we just lose somebody?
I think we lost Uncle Jim.
Yeah.
That's the problem with living in paradise. The internet sucks.
Yeah. So we'll start with you, Curtis. Your thoughts on the site, and we'll just see where the conversation goes from there.
Well, what I like about the site is the things that you've been saying and what Kurt Vaughn very effectively said in his video, and Fortune Cookie said a little bit in his video, and a few others. They're talking about it being a landing pad, if you will. So you don't have to worry about whose content is on what site. You can log into the Reloaders Network, and the authors that are there, the links to the video that's hosted on other sites is readily available without trolling around and trying to figure out who put what where. And I think that's a big value. And I'm hoping that the site can evolve into having it be a one-stop site for other things too, like our comments and our communication. I really like how KFW did his giveaway only for people that are using the Reloaders Network, because I didn't realize it till someone told me, but I guess there's people on YouTube that sign up for channels just looking for the giveaways. Now they probably don't want some of the things we're giving away, but I mean, it's nice that
I bet that's true. Yeah.
Making someone who's part of our
search
group.
box and search giveaway or away or give or something like that, and then just register for all this stuff.
Yeah, I really like the concept of it being, a home base, if you will, for all of the things that we want to do. Finding the videos, maybe some promotional stuff from some of the new advertisers that hopefully will come along. That we can, have the first stop that we make when we log into the internet in the evening to see what everyone's up to. It's really neat to think about the potential that we have there to see what we're all saying to each other about their videos, or it's really neat when you sign on and you see someone's, you got that little green light where somebody's got something waiting for you. It's really neat. It's like, hey, you seen Uncle Jim's new video or whatever else. It's really neat, and I'm hoping that it can be the clearinghouse not just for the videos, but for our comments and our other interactions, maybe some special deals from the vendors and things of that nature. That's what I really hope we can evolve into.
I had kicked around the idea of starting my own server, as in making my own YouTube, where everybody could upload everything. And I'd actually talked with Bacon about it, and I had financial backing and advertisers and all this other stuff. Then after talking with Bacon about it, I'm like, he's already got it figured out. Let's just go with this.
Uncle Jim's laying down on the job.
Yeah, I think it's all the little things that on the website that I noticed. Like I noticed recently that Loads of Bacon put a little like animation going on with the advertisement. Those little things I think really kind of stand out. I think what probably could improve is maybe sectionizing some of the posts to, let's say, for instance, cast like bullets, something that someone could click like a tab or something and go through the post that way instead of actually searching. It's kind of hard to get some of the older folk to kind of switch over to, say electronics, so.
Has anybody else noticed that YouTube is getting ignorant with ads lately?
Yeah. Funny thing that I saw, Kyle, is on Loads of Bacon's channel, I was watching some of his old videos, and powder coat videos pop up. Eastwood popped up, and then some company with a static powder coat gun popped up on it.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll be watching a 10-minute video, and it'll have 15 ad breaks in it.
I get the powder coat all the time.
Hey, Uncle Jim, you're sideways, man.
You guys are sideways. I'm right side up. Here.
I'm always sideways.
You won't believe it. I just had a power out. Typical power out.
I hope he saves some power for my cell phone.
Hey, Uncle Jim, pick your phone up and turn it to where I look sideways for a second, and then put it back.
Have a good night, Coach X.
We'll see you.
Hey, wait a minute. You guys are right side up. I was trying to get it the other way.
So
I have power out. I'm running off a generator right now.
Oh crap! You lost power.
I think we just broke the internet.
Yeah,
Kyle, I don't know what's going on with those ads. So I know if on YouTube, if I enable ads and the video is over 10 minutes, then I can manually go in and put in where those ads show up. I don't have to, but I can. And so what you may be running into there, I'm just throwing a possibility. I don't know this is what's happened, but you may have somebody that's going in and inserting a whole bunch of ads in a video that's more than 10 minutes.
Why? So,
Hey, Bacon, can I break for a minute? Thorzax is
Absolutely.
checking out. So, hey, Thorzax, you're checking out. Thanks for coming.
I think Scotsman was headed to another chat as well.
I generally add a couple ads to my longer videos between groups. I'll add an ad or whatever. Still, usually no more than 3 in a video. It just generates a little more revenue.
Oh, jeez.
Is Scotsman? Is he leaving too?
Yeah, he was heading to another live chat.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. I've been watching some of his live chats, and he just helps out the gun community pretty good, man. So I say go check it out. Check what he's got going on too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Gracie's a good guy.
All right. Hey, James.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong James. I'm calling on. Hey, come help me with.
You
my
mean
phone,
Jerry?
man. No, we're on camera now. Hey,
Hey,
Mike.
you're right side up now.
Your
What
palm
the-
is.
all right.
Uncle
thanks.
Jim.
I'm getting
Uncle
dizzy.
Jim, I really don't think you should be on YouTube when the power's out, Uncle Jim.
Well, look, no internet. Luckily, I can still talk to you.
This phone bill's going to be $800 now.
No.
You know, Uncle Jim, you shouldn't be on the internet when there's no power.
Hey, who said that?
Hey, that was good. That was good.
Who was that? That kind of scared me for a minute there.
What? I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. Did you guys hear anything?
What?
What are you talking about?
Oh man, that was great. Thanks
That
for
was
stopping
scary,
by.
All right, Jim. While you were playing with power, we were talking a little bit about the site and thoughts on it so far, and any sort of things you're really liking or recommendations of where we head in the near or distant future.
I think it's great.
Welcome back. Take that. Go.
I think it's great. So, really haven't thought about it much. Just had a bunch of stuff to do and everything. Just, I think it's great. I think it's fine. You know, I'm still learning how to use it.
Yeah, me too.
I got the wife yelling something. Hang on. Typical.
We could upgrade his iPad.
Hey, what's that?
Uncle Jim brings the life to the live chat.
Where's Kyle? How's your bullets coming there, Kyle?
I'm pretty much good. I'm waiting on Jamie now.
Okay.
I'm good to go. There is no published data for these, so I'm not going to tell you what I've done. But I've got 4 little ladder loads, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
You said you loaded those with
everything is
unique.
Trust me, everything's totally safe. Nothing is ignorant. The ones I shot with the ones I shot with Jamie, they started out hot and just got stupid after that. I don't know if y'all could see it on the video that he posted, but that last round, I think it was 21 grains of 4.227. We were using a lead sled, and it picked that 44 Magnum rifle up about 1.5 feet off the lead sled when I pulled the trigger. And Jamie looked at me and said, "What the hell was that?" and the bad thing is, Jamie is an extremely religious man. And for him to say that, I looked at him and went, "That's overpressure. That's what that is."
Well, it may have been a literally religious question. He may have been looking for the fire and brimstone following.
Man,
Yeah.
I pulled a piece of brass out of that rifle, and I went, "Oh, good Lord." I showed it to him, and he goes, "I think we're done now." Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Kyle, you got shout outs from JCM 45 and Willie Bulletman and Brody and and Tim Robinson. They're all very impressed with your, yeah.
Very impressed with my, Hang on, let me get the.
I'm not sure what they're talking about, but there's something that they thought was really well done.
Hang on, I'm reviewing. Hang on.
So while you're looking at that, Josh, you're heading out to the milk jug shoot. What else you got going on? I know it's been a little limited with farmers in the fields and whatnot.
Yeah, I've only shot about 2 times in the last 2 months. This is really my downtime as far as shooting. I do very little this time of year. It's just kind of sporadic. If we get a little rain, there's a fence row I usually shoot on, and they farm on it. I can't block that fence row this time of year. So anytime I shoot, I have to drag the targets out, set everything up, and then take them down. So I don't know, just here and there.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. And to shoot 100 yards ain't a big deal, but if I want to set up farther range, it is a lot of work.
When does the shooting pick back up again?
Fall.
It's close.
Yeah. The first year on YouTube with 243 Outdoors, I made videos up to like spring, and then I really did nothing until like August, September. And I've been trying to fill the void with videos here and there, but I'm out right now. I don't have anything in the queue or ready to go, but hopefully this next weekend I'll get several videos. They're going to allow me to shoot or video all my shooting, so I ought to have some pretty good footage from Utah.
That's going to be awesome, man. I'm really envious of that. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
And the fact that I'm using the Ruger American against probably a lot of very high dollar rifles, and I feel very confident. I really do.
Sweet.
You know, it's funny to say that. It really doesn't. I don't know. I don't really think it takes a high dollar rifle. It just you get lucky with what you got, and you just got to try it out and see what you can do with it.
I've got a 19. Go ahead.
I mean, a good quality scope that tracks good, and on a rifle that'll shoot, and that's you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, exactly.
I really encourage 1978 model Winchester bolt action 30-06 with a 1978 model Bushnell 3x9, and I can hit a 1/4-inch steel plate turned sideways at 500 meters all day, every day. I can hit the edge of that steel plate because I know what that bullet's going to do. So all you have to do is know your rifle. You can go out there with the biggest. You can go out there with a Daisy BB gun. You can make it shoot 1,000 yards, and you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm rocking out a $40 scope. That's kind of my little secret. I got a little Amazon CV Life scope, and I'm taking it out to 1,000 yards. Yeah, I mean, with better scopes you can see better, but it doesn't really make you a better shooter. You know.
And that was some good walking in today, Kenny, on your video earlier. Some good walking in, man.
Yeah, that was fun. It definitely helped having a spotter. I tell you right now, it's reviewing your shots and not having a spotter. It's a pain, but.
And I like that point where you said, "Oh, the next one's it," and you knew it, and it was. That's just awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Your comment saying that it's just a great feeling. Hey, man, my next shot, I know I'm going to land it, but I'm still working on having skill set and my long range shooting, having my cheek weld, all the basics, and hopefully when I get a better action, I can see what I can do with it.
I took my dad out shooting. It's been a little while back, and he'd never shot probably past 500 yards with me or so, and we was set up at 1,000 yards, and he was just knocking that target every hit almost. I mean, I had a bunch of ammo. I told him to shoot, and he enjoyed it. I mean, that gun was on. He couldn't miss.
Yeah. Actually, what I'm rooting for is surprising my oldest son. He's got a skill, and I'm thinking when he gets older, he's going to be a good shot because I took him out with a red dot, and he's putting out cast lead bullets and hitting that target at 500 yards, and he's only 7 years old. And I was actually really surprised and proud of him.
Yeah, both of my kids like shooting as well, and it's real fun to take them out, and they are learning gun safety at an early age, and I'm really proud of them because they're both doing really well.
I've got a.
Can you lock the video on Uncle Jim? I think his bandwidth knocks him out when he tries to talk. Can the camera lock there so when he talks it'll stay there?
You want me to stick Uncle Jim's face on the screen for everyone? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
No.
I can do that.
Please don't.
Yeah,
I don't have any internet.
Please don't, Mr. Bacon. We don't need that.
Oh, jeez.
all right. Hey, Kyle, I
That's
want to
kinda-
see that 500-meter quarter-inch edge of the steel shot on video, man.
We've got that recorded. I want to
Next
see
time
it
I go
too.
down to the shooting range, which we should have went this weekend, but it's supposed to be raining all the time, so we didn't go.
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just really want to see it.
I've got witnesses, but yes, I can redo it. Hey, let me.
You know
show
what?
the
That would dethrone Fortune Cookie shooting the playing cards at 3 feet or whatever he does.
This is my 30-06 round, 175 grain Sierra Tip Match King, sitting on top of 48.95, and I can tell you exactly where this thing is going to go in any condition because I have 4 notebooks full of data for you.
So a while back, I did a fidget spinner shoot with my 6.5, and I shot 400 yards, and I actually hit it on my first shot. So if Kyle does that at 500 yards, that would be the longest fidget spinner shot on YouTube.
So a hey, Tate, you got an extra fidget spinner?
Hey, I got one if you need one.
Hang on, I'm talking to my son. You got one?
Mom has like an Atlanta Braves one.
I got
I
10 of
don't
them.
want your mom's fidget spinner. I was wondering if you had one.
Yeah, they're booby
What are
traps.
you showing there,
Like,
Curtis?
you have to put it down the stairs, and you walk down. It's a booby trap, and I almost fell a couple times. So
Y'all
can take
saw
the video.
y'all saw my paint blob shot at 250, didn't you? It was one of my first videos. Right after I started putting up videos and everybody started reacting to them, I started putting up some of my old videos that were on my phone. One of them's a 250-yard shot. I work on big trucks, and we had a pavement painting truck come in, and it had this big blob of the yellow stripe paint, and it was a blob about that big. About that big, and I had it sitting on top of a pallet at 250 yards. Have y'all seen that?
I think I did see that.
I shot one blob, and then my buddy shot another one.
I love it.
Actually, he was shooting my 308, which my 308's a pretty serious round. It's a 208 grain Hornady AMAX compressed load. But my 308 loves it, and it's good to about 1,200 meters. But he was shooting it. I shot the first one, and he said, "Let me try." He's a Marine. Okay. And so he shot it, and he goes, "Did I hit it?" I couldn't tell because my scope jumped so much. but yeah, we like shooting long range. Well, long range for Georgia.
All right. Internet. Oops.
You back up and running, Jimbo?
The power came on. All right. Who wires a house where your generator comes on and leaves out the internet?
Well,
Didn't you
to help
install
you
that?
out, I just went on ahead and pegged your screen or your face up, so you're just staying there for a while.
So you didn't see the magnifying glass over the beam?
Oh,
stick?
I saw it, Uncle Jim, and I knew exactly what it was, and I appreciate it.
I thought that was funny. So
I thought it was funny too.
that's
Uncle
revenge
Jim?
for the flag.
You need to rewire the house so the internet comes up.
You know, that sounds like the San Francisco Jerry. I don't know. It's not the mountain.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
The San Francisco Jerry.
Is that like rice-a-roni? Ding ding.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with
And on that note, what target were you showing there, Curtis?
I was showing Uncle Jim that the syndrome that I had in the video is not an isolated thing. Here's another example. When he was showing the magnifying glass, I held this up and showed it. So shot number 4 seems to be my demon. I can put 3 together, number 4, and then number 5 comes right back in. So
Typical.
I guess I'm gonna have to make another video with another Uncle Jim quote and get it squared away.
Man, for the safety of everyone in the range, it's going to start sounding like you're golfing. You shoot the first 3, and you just need to holler out 4 before that shot comes, because who knows where it's landing.
Right. No, and it's I think it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, that's a pretty good group I got going. I don't know if it's the pressure or whatever, but that group that I just held up, I picked up I'm fond of early Ruger 77s, and I picked up a 22-250 varmint model flat bolt from the early 70s, and I found a really nice vintage Weaver T16 target scope to put on it, and I'll be darned, that thing it shoots. And that was with cheap ammo. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Denel. It's South African. In the boxes say PMP. So when I threw that flyer, my buddy immediately says, "You got pimped by that pimp ammo." It says PMP on the box, but it actually shot very well. I shot several groups that were of that quality. So it was.
Curtis,
you said 22-250?
Yeah. Say it again, Kyle.
Curtis, how often do you clean your rifle?
You're trying to put me on the spot.
No,
I am not.
I'm asking a very serious question.
I'm not a religious rifle cleaner. I'm one of these guys that I take cleaning stuff, good quality cleaning stuff to the range, and if I'm shooting a lot, I'll run a patch through it. I really like dry patches. I stay away from brushes a lot, but if I'm shooting a lot, I'll run dry patches, with a bore guide and see what I push out. And every now and then I'll give it the cleaning, but I would say that it's not uncommon for me to go well over 100 shots in a 308 before I clean.
Okay, all right. What I was going to say is I noticed with my 308, it likes about 100 fouling shots, and then I can dial it in to blow the boogers out of a quarter's nose at 500 yards with every shot for about the next 200 shots, and then it starts opening back up again. Once it starts opening back up again, I know to clean it.
Yeah.
And then you clean it. When I say clean it, I mean clean it. Chemically clean it. Get it clean, and then you have to shoot 100 rounds of crap through it so you can start building up some copper and carbon fouling, and then the bullets will start coming back where you want them, and then you're good for another 100 shots. That's
when I shoot 308, depending on the rifle, if I take my RPR out because it's heavy and you got it set up to where it's ergonomically pleasing to me to shoot it, I'll shoot a lot of rounds out of that. But when I shoot things that are lighter, I maybe shoot 25 to 50 rounds, unless I'm getting tired. And after that course of fire, I'll dry patch it. And if I don't like what I see, I'll maybe put some solvent through it and see if I don't go for getting all the copper out of it every time though. And I haven't followed any strict regimen on shooting new barrels in either. I've typically, pretty much just picked I have some bread box, if you will, 308 loads that if I put through the rifle and it doesn't shoot, it doesn't interest me. I think some people do that with, if you're going to buy stuff off the shelf, the gold medal match, with the 168 Match King in it, if you run that through a 308 and it doesn't shoot, it's almost like, you're going to be chasing a long time to find something that does, because it's going to be off the beaten path.
Right. I hear you.
But I've got several that I haven't run any ammo through yet. I picked up a Model 70 that I was after for a long time from a friend. It's a post 64, but pre 68, and it's got a Mannlicher stock, and I'm very fond of it. But I haven't shot that yet, so that one's going to be an interesting one, because if it doesn't shoot with some of my generic stuff, I will put the time in to make that one go.
Right. Yeah, brother. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I actually had a purpose for the question.
No, it's a funny question, and there's some people that really get excited about that. Now, I will tell you right off the bat that I almost never clean my shotguns. Almost never. I shoot skeet and trap, and I shoot typically real light 1-ounce loads. And if I do anything, I'll just run a swab through it, because I shoot dirty powders. I shoot red dot in my 12 gauge stuff with just a generic 1-ounce AA clone load, and in 20 gauge for skeet, I shoot unique, and they're both dirty. The new formulas are better than the old formulas, but they're both dirty. So I'll just run a swab through them and stuff. But, it's not like I go after the lead remover and this and the other. I look down the bore and it's shiny, and I say, okay, there's nothing wrong. You get a little plastic from Watts now and then, but not a lot.
Right.
And that's much higher volume shooting than any of my other stuff. If you know, a day of skeet shooting, it's not uncommon to run 150 through it. You know, it's not
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, you're a long range rifle guy that chases tiny groups out at long range, and you talk to a lot of guys in that community. How many of those guys would freak out by that the last couple minutes of conversation?
I am not a rifle cleaner myself. My 6.5 probably went 750 rounds before I done my first cleaning on it. I kind of go by, shoot it until the accuracy goes away, and it took that long. I actually had a piece of wore out brass that came apart. It made a mess, and that was actually my first cleaning.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been noticing a lot of copper buildup on it, probably 1,300 rounds through it. So I got some Sweet 7.62, and I done a pretty good barrel cleaning on it. And I've since probably shot 100 rounds through it. And I had a little bit of carbon buildup in my muzzle brake. So I changed it out, and it's shooting fantastic again. So,
you know, it's funny too, because when, you know, I buy used rifles and things, and, you know, when I pick up a used one, you wouldn't believe how well I clean them. I mean, the stock comes off, and, you know, everything about the rifle gets cleaned, and, you know, I go after the bore, and if I don't like what I see, I'll put a little JB in there and see what I get, and, you know, try to make sure the chambers are clean. And then I know I'm starting from some baseline where I try to shoot it, because, you know, it's, you know, I buy some older things I like because of what they are. You know, you don't know their history. And I found that most of the used rifles that I bought have very little evidence that they were fired much. I think it's the typical guys run a box of shell throws in their lifetime. And the rest of the time, there's usually more dust bunnies in them than anything else if you get something that hasn't been cleaned before you get it. But, you know, I go through them, and if I see something goofy, I try to address it the best I can, and then see if it shoots. And if it doesn't shoot, it kind of goes to the back of the pile and gets forgotten about. And, you know, and then I've got some heirloom type things that I know are good. Like this came from my dad, and, you know, this is a marvelous rifle, and this is where I got started. This is an early 77, not real early. It's probably about 1983. It's a 270, which is one of my favorites. And I carried this hunting in northern Michigan a little bit, and this was the first rifle I reloaded for. You know, my dad taught me and all that. I've had it in my possession. Whoa, there goes the bacon. I've had it in my possession for a long time, and I've never so much as done anything with it. Now it needs to make an appearance at the range, and it's got a. My dad bought this rifle in concert with a 7mm Magnum that's its twin. He was going to go out west with some friends. He bought the 7 mag, and he bought the 270. They were going to do antelope and muleys, and, you know, and he bought new rifles, and you know, it's got a nice, you know, vintage Vari X2 loophole on it. This one's a 2-7. The 7 mag has a 3-9. Hey, Uncle Jim, you are a dynamite man. You're a dynamite man right there. You know, one of my dad's friends said back in the day that someday Ruger 77s would be the new Model 70. You know, and the prices are starting to show that. And I never thought that these things would fetch the money that they fetch. But like, I need to get this one out. It's probably going to be in a video pretty soon. I have the 22-250. You know, you guys saw the rarest one I have. I have that 350 Rem mag that was in the Uncle Jim video, and that one, you know, is one of my favorites. It's a fun rifle, but as far as cleaning them, you know, I probably clean them more when I buy them than when I shoot them. So it's kind of weird.
Hey, since Uncle Jim pulled a rifle out for display anyway, how much does shooting suppressed? How much does that change the equation for needing to clean things?
You clean more. You get more fouling blowback. Yeah. You clean more. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you fine, but your video's choppy.
Well, I don't know what's going on. Everything's falling apart around here. So, yeah, you clean more. You clean your magazines more. It just blows back all kinds of stuff. Now, in a bolt action, you're just cleaning the barrel anyway and wiping down, you know. But pistols, ARs.
Now tell him the truth, Uncle Jim.
Well, the truth is,
Get Jerry out of here.
the truth is, this isn't a 77, so it looked like yours.
Right,
But,
it does a little bit.
yeah, notice this is a Sacco.
Psycho.
I got rid of my Ruger
Psycho,
7 mag
Psycho.
in '77. Should have never done it, but I did.
But it looked like yours. You had the loop pulled on it and everything, so I thought it folded out. So we'll put it away.
That was I told Bacon at the beginning, usually these things ends up in how did you get started? And this is the first box of rifle ammo that I ever loaded, and this was in like 1983 for that 270. And it's funny because my dad was going through some stuff when I was at his house, and he said, I think I got some more 270 stuff for you. And he opened it up. He goes, well, I think that's your writing on there. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think that is my writing from back in those days. And the date on it is 11/9/83. And
you've only shot 7 shots since then. You need to get that rifle out more, man.
yeah. Yeah, agreed. But they don't look bad for the age. They're 130 grain Speer boat tails, 55 grains of IMR 4350. I'd have to look that load data up. That's probably trucking. But it's kind of neat, and he also gave me the dies. These were the first dies that I loaded rifle with. It's some 270 RCBS dies, just the standard issue set, that everybody has, and these are 1980, it says on the top of them, and kind of funny.
All right, we've been going at this. We're 10 minutes shy of 2 hours, so
wow,
I could go on for a while, but I'm in a different time zone than y'all, so we should probably head towards wrapping it up. Kenny, what do you got coming up in the near future on your channel there?
Well, I'm going to be taking that bullet out again. I got that IPSC target kind of was a pain in the butt last time I shot it, my 30.6, so I'm going to try tagging that more. Other than that, I'm probably going to dive in more into the paper patching. Like I said, I've been working off camera with some of those, and I think I got a load going. And other than that, I might be taking a break, to be honest. I'm going to be oh,
yeah, with that move, I'd expect you would be.
Yeah, so I'm going to be moving. And a question, I guess, I got for you guys on the audience is, if you were moving and you could only take one press with you because you're in the process of buying new housing, what press would that be?
Kurt press. I'm sorry, I'm not in the comments.
That's a tough question. Which child would you bring?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning more towards the Lee Turret press, but I do like the T7, and I'm thinking about going with that.
Well, any presses you leave behind, just put my address on them, and you can ship them to me. I'm in Georgia. I don't have to have any political efficiencies or approvals to accept the press, so I'll take it.
Also, real quick, I just wanted to say thank you to West as a Shooter. He's making logos, if you guys don't know. So if you guys are
look at that.
That is awesome.
I just got this in the mail today, and it's awesome. It's going to be put in my bench. So really thank you. I think.
Oh yeah, Mr. Shooter's got some. He does some good work.
Yeah,
he does. I've got one of his stickers sitting on my my bench as well, and the one up above Johnny's reloading bench on his wall came from West Desert Shooter as well.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Timothy Robinson, the PC Bullet Empire. He wins the answer on which press he would take. He says the only one he has. That is the answer. That is the answer.
And here's his prize. His duck.
Well done, sir.
I feel like a clown. I got all the props.
Oh, we'll hit up you, Jim. Have you figured out yet what's coming up on your channel in the near future, or is it spur of the moment as you go?
Me?
Yeah.
I was doing a video on casting for the second time and not screwing up. And then it became short and ugly. Typical. So, You know how I had issues. I'm yelling, aren't I? Am I yelling? You know, I had issues with sprues. Hello?
Right? Yep.
Well, no more issues. Everything went like night and day the second time doing it. And I made Willie up some bullets because he wanted the 180s. And I called it no more ish sprues. Ish sprues. Oh. Now I spoiled the video, so I probably won't do it. But that's what I was doing today, is casting and doing a video. To people that get frustrated their first time, don't let it get you down. The next day it's like, they came out perfect. I don't know what's going on. And I did 2 kinds.
There are several times I've run into some sort of issue casting, and it's just not working out. And it's usually with a brand new mold. And I come back the next day, and everything's smooth as butter.
Well, here's the funny part. I used a new Lyman mold that I didn't use the first time when I was trying to be an octopus and doing 6 molds at once on my first time. So I took 2 molds and did that. And everything went well. So I figured that out. It was easy. And the Lyman was a 358, 156 that Willie has. And that worked really good. Now I season the mold and everything. And after a couple throws, it was right on. It was it is a little different on those little steel molds because you can't pour as fast, and you know, oh well.
It
went great. In other words, it went great. It was I was gentle on the things and everything. I wasn't beating the hell out of them or nothing. I was tap tap tap. You know. So
some of you guys cast with 2 molds for heat control. I think I've kind of caught that some folks do that, especially with like a 4-cavity mold or a 6-cavity, to have 2 going at the same time and regulate the temperature of the mold somewhat that way.
Yeah, if you're like Cobra Taco, you could get 2 of the same molds anytime you want. So
yeah,
he sometimes casts 2 different kinds of bullets. I think that would, I don't know that I could relate to that, because I would have a problem dumping them into the bucket together just because that's just not my personality.
Yeah.
OP in the comments is asking dry tumbler sonic cleaner. And earlier he'd asked that, and I said wet tumble. And he's saying which one of the dry tumbler sonic cleaner, because he's going to have to wait on purchasing a wet tumbler. I can't answer that because the only way I've ever cleaned brass is wet tumbling. Before I set up my wet tumbler with my Harbor Freight rock tumbler, I just wipe brass off if it got really grungy, and that's all I ever did. So
I have a sonic cleaner. I do not use it for cases. Oh. See, I'm not joking. I have a Lyman ultrasonic cleaner. I don't use it for case cleaning. I use it for gun cleaning. You take the action out of your, say, Remington semi-automatic 30-06, leave it all together, throw it in there, and turn it on. It'll be clean. I used to dry tumble my cases, bought a wet tumbler, and haven't looked back since. That's the only way to do it.
Okay, on sonic cleaners, I used them for suppressors at first. Now I'm wet tumbling them, but the internals, no aluminum, no titanium. You'll screw it up. You'll ruin your aluminum and titanium in a sonic cleaner.
Now, is that dependent on what solution you use, or would it do it even if you put some benign solvent in it?
That's the cavitation.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's like a diesel motor with not with no additives in the antifreeze. It will
destroy
the porosity of the steel.
And
the SCAs.
People have learned that ruining a expensive suppressor and tax stamp.
Huh. Plow in the comments said he tried to get a suppressor for his wife, but his Form 4 didn't go through. So if you get a suppressor for your wife, does she require more cleaning?
Does it matter at that point?
Yeah.
It's going to be about as effective as just grabbing your TV remote, pointing it, and hitting the mute button.
Yeah, I would say that's a bad idea. Yeah, you should.
To go back on the wet
No,
tumbling situation, yeah, on the wet tumbling, I've read something that as far as wet tumbling versus dry tumbling, that there's like lead dust that you can inhale if you're dry tumbling indoors and stuff. So there's kind of a health concern. I think Fortune Cookie 45 did a video on that. So that's the reason why I kind of went towards wet tumbling, because I actually went and got my blood tested, and I found that my levels of lead did increase a little bit. So that's the reason why I went wet tumbling.
And to counter that, you can add stuff to your dry tumbling media. So it, what is this? It's like polishes and stuff, and that keeps some of the dust down. But my last video, I was loading up the Willie round, and I went, "Ick, these were dry tumbled." It's when I used to dry tumble at some old brass, and I just like wet tumble. It's just easier when you're done. You're done. No dust, none of that.
Now there are folks that are still adamant about dry tumbling. That has worked for decades. It's not like Walnut Media all of a sudden revolted and it doesn't clean brass anymore. The stuff still works.
There's a 45 Colt piece of brass that I know for a fact has 12 firings on it. Can you see down in there? There you go. You ain't going to get it that clean dry tumbling.
But you can get it clean enough dry tumbling.
They've been sitting in this salsa jar for almost a year. Okay? So they were really clean a year ago.
I guess I'm saying that because I've never dry tumbled, but we have a habit in our community, I think, sometimes of latching on to some new method, and we want to encourage people to, hey, we're powder coating now. That doesn't mean that traditional lube bullets are bad,
right? Well,
but we latch onto these things and we start advocating for them, and then all of a sudden we're coming across as if not only is this the new way, now this is the only way, and I think at times we take it too far. Dry tumbling still cleans brass plenty clean enough to reload it and shoot it.
Oh, sure.
But if I have my preference, I'm going to wet tumble it.
The dry tumbler is very, very good for post-processing, and sometimes that wouldn't expose any lead anyway. If it's a powder-coated bullet or a jacketed bullet or plated bullet, sometimes the running them post-process through the dry tumbler is a good way to clean them, get any lube off, or things of that nature.
Yeah, some people get kind of stressed about tumbling live ammunition.
I've read that.
Yeah, I've done it. Of course, I'm nowhere near it. I have it outside. You never know, but
do it.
Yeah, I haven't seen an effect on the accuracy on that yet.
I've never tried to wet tumble live ammunition. I could say that.
I haven't wet tumbled it.
I don't see a point in doing that.
I've done it, but not on purpose.
We're not talking about your cell phone in the stool, Uncle Jim.
We're running up against my self-imposed timeline here, so let's see, Kyle. What do you got coming up in the very near future on your channel, man?
The very near future, a lot of people have been asking about my bullet trap. Of course, it's 2 hours away from me at where I go shooting. I actually have a family friend with almost 1,000 acres that I have pretty much free range on. Haven't been able to get down there due to hunting times and hunting seasons. I'm going to do an in-depth video on my rifle bullet trap, and I'm actually in the middle of building a smaller, more portable pistol bullet trap that's a little bit of a different design that I think you guys are really going to like. And that's going to be coming up pretty quick. And like I say, me and Jamie are going to be shooting on some 35 Remingtons. I'm going to go gas check versus non-gas check 44s out of a Red Hawk and the Henry. We'll see what happens there. And all this stuff is like going to be the next 3 videos coming out. So, I mean, I do have a game plan. It's just making it happen.
Perfect. And Josh, when you got your milk jug shoot, anything else? I know you're kind of struggling for videos right now, being nobody wants you shooting while they mess on their farms.
Yeah, the one thing I want to work on is a while back, me and Taco were talking about a 500-yard 22, and I actually have been working around with that a little bit. I got this crazy rail mount, and I actually took it out and shot it a little bit against a field that didn't work the other day. I was just looking for impacts in the dust, and I had it probably set up to shoot 1,000 yards and not 500. So I've shimmed up the rail a little bit, and I've changed the scope, and windage is right on. So I just need to get back out and see if I can dial it in. But I'm very confident I'm going to have a 500-yard 22 here, maybe in the next month or so.
Well, you really want to press those milk jug guys. Show up next year with your 22.
You have to use skim milk for that.
Yes.
What about you, Curtis? What do you got coming up in the very near future?
Well, I need to continue to work on the 44 Special Series. It's got several hundred rounds through it now. I've learned a lot about it. I've recently picked up a single action, and I've been fooling with that, and I'm learning. I'm going to reach out and talk to Thorzax a little bit and get some technique ideas from him, because my grip is all wrong for that style of shooting. So I get the typical point of impact being quite low with it, but I'm learning and all that. I want to do. I've got a somewhat run what you came across idea with a budget friendly rifle and stuff, and I'm trying to look at it from a perspective of someone. A lot of people do budget rifle builds and things like that. I want to take it a step further. I bought a discount rifle. It's a more or less new rifle, but good price and a very budget friendly scope and this and that and the other. And I want to do some very, very basic reloading in the beginning and try to see what a first time person might go through, because I was never there. I learned a lot from my dad and others, and, never really had to blaze the trail. So I'm going to try to do it from a perspective of blazing the trail and see what happens, and see if the way that I do things now and some of the more, migrate on into the more advanced techniques later, and see if it makes a lick of difference. I have a sneaking suspicion that I can take some really crude tools and do some reloading, just based on some really crude data. I think the thing will still shoot. We'll see. We'll see. It's something that I want to. You read the lore about the guys loading the 30-30 at the bar the night before the deer hunt, with the lead whack-a-mole, and I want to see if it makes a difference and play with that. Hey, nice clock, Uncle Jim.
Hey. It's got a Jerry lighter with it, and it won't light. Typical.
He's probably trying to turn back time so he can stay here longer.
Playing with his lighter at the reloading bench. I hope the powder isn't open.
Yeah, I'm right next to the. Oh man. Okay, can you see this? I'm right next to the Dylan here with the full thing of. Yeah, there we go.
Back up if you're really gonna go down that path. Back up the camera a little bit so we can see the full thing on live video.
Well, you might see the mushroom cloud.
Uncle Jim, that might be against OSHA regulations.
All right, Kenny. For folks that are watching, tell them the name of your channel where they can find you.
Which one? Was it me or you're talking
Yeah.
to? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Eagle Eye Shooting. It's just youtube.com/Eagle Eye Shooting. The Reloaders Network. Of course, I'm one of the authors there. And BitChute is uploading my YouTube videos simultaneously at the same time. So you'll find me on BitChute as well. Other than that, that's all I got so far. I haven't really checked out YouTube yet. I'm probably planning on checking that out later on.
Hey, Reloader dudes here. We're wrapping it up. So, so for all these guys, so probably what I'll do is this is a Reloaders Network authors chat. I'm going to post this video to be viewed in full at the Reloaders Network, and I'll probably post up a little teaser on YouTube. Not because it violates any sort of policies, but just because I want to, because I want to drive people to the website.
Yeah, you just like teasing people.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, Kyle. Well, somebody was asking recently where they can find you. What's your YouTube channel?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's extremely easy. It's Kyle Lusk.
Was there an outdoors in there somewhere?
There was, but not anymore. A lot of stuff has changed, and that's it's Kyle Lusk. It's complicated.
All right, Josh.
I'll explain that in a later video. How about that?
My channel is 243 Outdoors. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Reloaders Network. Pretty much search 243 Outdoors and you should find me.
All right, Jerry.
Hey, I was surprised to see Chad. Like, who is that guy? And then
I couldn't
saw
come up with anything. I'm sorry, James. I had nothing.
Nobody.
He's talking to you, Uncle Jim.
No, when I clicked this on, I was surprised to see Chap here because he's pretty elusive, and I was thinking, who is this guy? Because you normally only see him from the side or the hands. And so that was neat seeing you on there, and that's why I just tried to get on here. I had to join a bunch of crap now to get off my phone to get off of this stuff.
Well, thanks, Uncle Jim. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. So had to jump
And
in.
thanks for the idea for the flag and the 50 cal. I mean, that's inspiration right there. That's good stuff.
Where did that come from? That was, yeah, I don't know, just another prop in a pile of. Anyway.
So folks wanting to chase your you and Jerry and the two of y'all's antics. Is that like the Red and Green show?
You guys did warn against it. I don't know about even advertising that. So. They'll find me if they find.
Excuse me, Uncle Bacon. It wasn't the Red and Green show. Red or green. It was the Red Green show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Like, that Jerry needs a dress. I tell you that.
I wonder if Jerry drives a K car.
Does he have Jerry godparents?
And on that note, where can they find you, Curtis?
Pretty simple. YouTube or the Reloaders Network. It's William C. Chapin. I'm kind of like Kyle. It's the real deal. So, and I don't think I'm anybody's uncle yet, so I can't be Uncle Curtis. So you know.
Did you see us? Did you see us all struggling with Chapin or Chapin? What is it? Which is it?
It's been Chapin, but you know what? It's one of those things where it doesn't matter.
As long as it don't start chapping, everything will be okay.
Right.
Yeah, you know, when you're a kid, you get some of those jokes. You know, my uncle owned a Chevrolet dealership, you know, in the town that I grew up in. So, you know, when the kids pick names for each other, you know, it was Chapin Chevrolet. So I just was dubbed that, you know, and you know, my dad happened to work there at the time too for my uncle. But so, you know, you get the stuff.
Hope you got a car out of it.
I got the sticker that goes on the back, the dealer sticker. I saw one. I hadn't seen one in years. This was back in the 70s. I saw a car.
He's got 3 cases of license plate frames.
They didn't use them back then. They had those foil stickers that they would stick on the car.
Oh, I got you. Oh, man.
But anyway,
guys, this has been extremely fun.
Yeah,
It has been, and I guess I asked the question. I haven't answered it myself. I'm still out of town for a few months, so I have more trailers for old videos coming up on my channel, and I've got changes and updates to the website, and that's about where I'm at right now. So, and I'm thinking we may have to do another 1 or 2 of these, gather several of the Reloaders Network authors together, and see if YouTube breaks. So
Lord knows you've had your hands full, Bacon. I mean, good Lord.
I don't know if it's
busy.
spam. I don't know if it's spam or not, but I just got a notification on my phone that Anda XX has subscribed to my channel. So I think I might be attracting some deplorables in our life.
See that?
Best offer I've had all day. So what the heck?
Yeah.
Have you ever clicked on a few to see who they are, and then you're like, my God.
So I had a comment a couple days ago from a guy who he's talking about one of the handguns I was showing, and he was all excited about it, and he was going to go pick one up when he turns 21, and he mentioned the month was just a few days away. So obviously the guy's he's giving me his age, but based on his avatar and his name, I just could not respond to him because I can't publicly acknowledge that I recognize that this guy exists, because the only thing I can say is, dummy, go read your history books, and why would you name yourself that?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
scary out there on YouTube, and they're after us. It's scary.
Well, Uncle Jim, make
There's,
sure you
there's
get
so
me
much
some.
weird stuff on YouTube that you don't even have to search for. You just go to just go to a homepage on any library computer, and you can find all kinds of weird stuff. But don't you ever tell them how much powder that you're putting under that bullet. You know, go to hell. I'm sorry, but that's kick me off YouTube if you want to. That's fine. I'm good with it.
I'm still loading. I'm not stopping, so they can. I'm going down.
Well, and that's just it.
Oh,
I'm at a place now with a website, and there's a number of video hosting places that my home is no longer I've got a YouTube channel, but the home of the Loads of Bacon channel is no longer YouTube. It's now the Reloaders Network.
It's the Reloaders Network. You're right.
YouTube is my primary outlet for reaching new audience, and there's still a lot of video and interaction there. But if YouTube goes away, I haven't gone away. They just, they've made life a little more inconvenient for me, especially for somebody coming across my channel.
We
But,
just changing location.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Bacon.
I've diversified my portfolio.
There you go.
So I'm all for it. Let's just continue doing what we do. If it happens, we got a place to call home.
Now I'm still going to be, and I don't fault other people for not following this tack, but I'm still going to keep doing the trailers, and for now try to play around, if you will, the rules, because I think it is important that we still maintain a presence on YouTube, because there's still going to be a lot of guys that start playing a video game and start thinking about, they looking up something and they come across and they find out, wow, this gun I was looking up, somebody's really shooting that thing for real, and then they start seeing that and they come across our stuff and they start to see what responsible gun ownership looks like. They start to see that, oh, as an American, I really can have a firearm. I really do think about some of those things, and I think it's important to stay on YouTube if we can, but only to a point. I may change some of how my videos presented. All the material I'm doing is still out there on the internet. So there's a part where I'll play a little bit, but I'm not going to compromise anything.
Yeah. I got a couple of videos that I'm going to test waters and see if I ever get a strike on. So we'll see what happens.
Right, and that's what I was going to say, Kenny, is I've got one of the younger channels here of everybody on the panel. I've got one of the younger channels. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. If they start dinging me, hell, I've got most of y'all's cell phone numbers. I'll let you know, hey, I'm done. You can't do this. So,
well, Bacon suggested putting a little video out there kind of unlisted, and if anything ever happens, just you could post that up, and at least everybody will know. I think that was a great idea.
Mine's already uploaded. If I ever get a second strike, you'll see it.
Yeah, but you had to keep it
You
private.
picked up one strike, Bacon?
No, but if you get 2 strikes, you can't upload for, I don't know what it is, a couple of weeks or a month or something.
Yeah, the way you said if you ever get a second strike, I thought maybe you had received one.
No, and it probably did come across that way. I think my understanding, because I have not gotten a strike, if you get 1 strike, you can still, I don't think you can live stream.
No,
so there are some
strike,
effects.
no live stream.
But you can still upload. But if you get a second strike, you can't upload for a while. But my understanding is you can modify the videos that are there. So if I get a second strike, I've already got my video posted to say, here's what's going on. And I'll just make it public and, change it from private to public.
And I think whether we start receiving strikes or whether our channels are deleted or not, I think our future is with the Reloaders Network site, as far as us staying in touch with each other and finding the videos and whatnot. And I agree with Bacon that maintaining a YouTube presence is important to attract new people that may not have even known that, that the community is as active as it is. And I think we can be a very valuable resource to the new reloaders. They can, or even new shooters, or even people that think that there's no one really that interested in this stuff, because there are a lot of people interested in this hobby. It's a marvelous hobby, for families to share, fathers, sons, daughters, whatever. There's the use of tools, there's the enjoyment of the outdoors, there's the development of skills and discipline, and the technical side of it. There's no end to how much you can enjoy this hobby. And I think there's a lot of people that don't realize that. They think they don't look any further because they don't know to. And I think being on YouTube is where we can be exposed to new people.
Well, I'm curious too how much it's going to continue to gain some interest when you have places like New Jersey and New York and California and anywhere near Chicago. But as you're looking at California and, hey, you need to go through a background check and all these wickets just to buy a box of ammo. Well, hey, I wonder if I can make my own.
On a place of importance. You haven't mentioned one of those yet.
What's that?
I'm still waiting on a place of importance. You haven't mentioned one of those yet.
A place of importance.
Right. You said California and New York and Chicago. I'm waiting on a place of importance.
One that matters.
Well, I will say it does matter, because the places I mentioned are large. Well, I don't know about New Jersey. There's some great people in New Jersey, but
I'm sure there are. But
there's a lot of people that are. And if you look at a lot of the laws in this land, where California goes, a lot of the country follows thereafter. And a lot of these places are absolutely still part of these 50 United States. These are still red-blooded Americans that are trying to feed their families. They're there. Some of them, maybe they're part of a family that's been in that area for generations. Getting up and moving is a great option for some. That is not an option for others. And some of those people, instead of being able to just move to a free state, they're hunkering down and they're fighting to try to maintain the freedoms, or fight back for the freedoms that they should have in their states. And if we can support that in any way, even if it's a matter of, we enable the guy to still be able to defend his family, because now he can make his own ammo instead of having to rely on Walmart that won't sell it to him because he's 20 instead of 21, or whatever the case.
I'm all for that, no matter what, over any of these 50 United States. By all means, never let it be said that I have ever said that nobody can reload their own ammo.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody is standing up to their state because their state has posted a bunch of bull crap rules saying that they can't, and they're standing up for it, I'm behind them 100%.
Yeah.
I spent some time in California when I was in the service, and when I got to go to some beautiful places. The sequoias are just amazing, and Yosemite's just amazing. And further up north, I haven't been there, but and seeing the pictures, it's gosh, and then you read about in the past that that's where there was a really prominent lifestyle that people went there for, and unfortunately, it's being run over by some of the demographics that are in the more populous areas and things, and you kind of feel for those folks that there's such beautiful resources there and whatnot. And here in Michigan, we're fortunate because it's really even though we have our liberal pocket, on the east side of the state, Ann Arbor East, it's kind of bad, but our state is so supported by tourism, and people come from a long ways away to hunt here, and we have a lot of really nice wilderness up north here in Michigan too. It's just a shame that it can't be used responsibly in some of the other places like it is in the states that pay attention. I mean, you guys are out there in Idaho, man, what a beautiful place to be. I can't imagine that not being there to enjoy for you all. You know, that's like a retirement dream to be in some place like that.
But
this country's
But
full
if you
of
look at Idaho as an example, a lot of the mindset that's in California has migrated up I-5 and taken over Oregon. It's taken over Washington, and a lot of those folks are heading into Colorado and Idaho as well. And they're bringing some of that mindset and the laws with them. And so, you know, don't ever take for granted that some place is more in line with the Constitution that our forefathers created. Today is going to be that way tomorrow. We could go down that rabbit hole for a long time. So I don't think any of us are here are in disagreement. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this thing off now because we're only 2 hours and 22 minutes into it. So, you know, we'll cut it off at 223 because that's a good number for a gun chat.
Let me just say this right quick to Curtis. I've actually flown from Atlanta, Georgia to Niles, Michigan to go trout fishing. Beautiful.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Niles is not far from here. I'm South Central Michigan in Jackson. It's right on Interstate 94.
Beautiful country.
You know, I've flown to Niles several times myself, you know, in my airplane, so I'm very familiar with the area. Dr. Haynes Memorial Airport.
All right, pick another caliber bacon.
30-06.
Yeah.
Well, 224 Valkyrie, I guess.
224 Valkyrie.
You know, I'm such a you know, I threw up the thing showing I had 30.6 subscribers. I remember hitting some of the even numbers, but what I really remember, I remember when I hit 12. I remember when I hit 243. I remember when I hit 357. 44 was one of my favorites.
Look at the head stamp on this 50 bacon. I brought this on because of your head stamp graphic. This is a WCC double nuts 50 caliber. Uncle Jim's got one too. What's he got there?
Oh, say.
TW52.
I didn't look at the one that the flag's in. This one's a live one, but
Oh, live.
yeah, and it's some nasty looking hollow point. I'm not quite sure what the deal is.
Yeah.
Uncle Jim just started drooling. All right, so yeah, you can find this eclectic crowd at thereloadersnetwork.com.
Hey, thanks for putting this together, Bacon. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it has been a lot of fun.
This has been hysterical tonight, guys. I really appreciate being involved in it.
One of the chatters said 270. I'm not sure you can make the time be 270.
Maybe 27 after. No, we're not going that far. We're going to kill it now. So thanks again, guys. When I throw this up, I'll throw some links to the channels for the folks participating. I really want to thank the folks in that were in the chat room, because a lot of those guys are YouTubers as well. Definitely all part of this community. And what an awesome community it is. So, Kyle,
I got Robin Eggs, Tim Robinson. Robin Eggs.
Kyle, chronographs are shooting over, not shooting at. So remember that, man.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna put a bunch of fiberglass work into that one and see what I come up with. Actually, the Crazy Scotsman had a wild idea. He said, "Call Caldwell, and they'll probably send you that piece for free." So
absolutely.
I'll try that too. So, but I haven't. I'm still looking for. I'm Elvis Ammo, and I dropped a bullet. Hang on. There we go. Okay. And now, hey, Elvis, where the hell are you at, sir?
Yeah, man.
Well, I had a very brief conversation with Elvis recently, and you know, it turns out that the guy has a real life and kind of needs to feed himself. So
he doesn't need to eat. Have you looked at him? He's skinny. He doesn't need to eat.
Hey, easy on the skinny guys. Easy.
Hey, we've all got to bring home the bacon.
Yeah, he's got plenty of chickens, though. He's got plenty of chickens. That's for sure.
So, hey, Uncle Jim, is Elvis holding up a newspaper in that picture to show the current date? Show proof of life?
No, he's pointing.
Hey.
Today.
All right. We have found chaos. Not y'all.
What
I got my
caliber?
35 Remington dies. I got my 35 Remington dies.
What caliber
Oh, look, there's the button.
time?